Hi there, Yasmine here. Thought I would talk to you a bit tonight and wish you a happy new year, because New Year is coming up in just a couple days. A lot of people are making resolutions right now, and I don't tend to make resolutions. I make goals, and I try to meet those goals, because to me a resolution is usually something that I never intend on following through and I just wish would happen. But when I make a goal, I make it happen. I'm a Capricorn. You know, Capricorns are the let's make goals, let's make plans, let's follow through people of the universe. And generally, what I want to do, I manage to do. Anyway, so do you make resolutions? Do you make goals? Do you have any for the coming year? What are you going to do to follow through? All good questions to think about at this time of year. So I'm going to answer some reader questions tonight, and I'm going to just chat a little bit. Um, I'm working on The Silver Stag, the first book of the Wild Hunt series, and I'm starting to dream about the series. There are only two series that I've dreamt about before, and one was Whisper Hollow, and the other was The Indigo Court. And I have a feeling that it's the darker series that I tend to dream about. Now, The Wild Hunt, yeah, it's going to have some of my humor in it, of course, and things like that, but it is a bit more on a little more on the darker side, just like the others were. Um, I'm planning 8 books in the series, um, and it's going to be an interesting ride, because I've been playing with this series in my mind for a while. Wasn't sure what it was going to be, but I could feel the mood creeping up. So, I suppose I should answer a couple reader questions. I have been asked, do certain themes and ideas tend to capture me when I'm writing? Do they play out in my books? Excuse me. And yes, the answer is yes, they do. Almost every book seems to have a theme when you really look at it. I had one book that I called The Book of Broken Glass, because it seemed like there were so many things that were broken in that book. Mirrors and windows and, you know, porcelain things. And I think it mirrored the shattering of some of the characters' deeply held perceptions. Other themes come up with each book. In Courting Darkness, it was all about fighting inner demons. And with the Fury series, the entire series is taking a look at what happens when corporations tend to rule the world, tend to rule the nation. What happens with a true corporatocracy? And it's kind of mirroring what's going on now. In a way, I'd rather live in my Fury world. But anyway, so yeah, I do have themes and ideas, and I tend to write settings that are deeply wooded, like the area I live in, and I tend to like writing during winter and autumn, or at least placing the books then a disproportionate number of my books take place in the autumn and winter months, and I think it's because those are the mysterious months to me. Those are the months when there are hidden shadows creeping around, or when the landscape is stark and barren and there's clarity that comes with the winter months, at least around here. Um, I love the gray skies we have. I love the gloom, and I love the overcast days. I'm not a sun bunny, it's like not really, not really prone to enjoying sunshine, and I hate hot weather. It's not good for me, for one thing. But, I mean, I do enjoy a sunny day now and then, but not for stretches on end. Um, so yeah, themes. Um, Another question I have gotten is, and I've gotten this one a lot and I've answered this one a lot, will there be any spin-offs of Otherworld after I finish the series? Not at the foreseeable future. Once I finish, I think I'm ready to put that on the shelf for a while and say good night for now. Um, I've likened it before, and this is in no way an insult to my work because I'm very proud of Otherworld, and I've had a lot of fun writing it over the years. But it's like when you get a house guest and they come to visit and they never leave. And after a while, you're like, I have other guests I want to come visit. And I didn't plan for the guest room to become your room permanently. Um, when you're writing in one world year after year after year, and it's been years, after a while, I'm just like, I really want to go visit another world. Thank you. Um, so I'll never say never, but for right now, no. Um, I have been asked, how do I stay so focused on the book I'm writing with all the wonderful characters that are talking to me, waiting to be heard? Excuse me. And Jenny says, you have such amazing series going on all at the same time. I'm very good at categorizing in my head. I'm very good at going, okay, I'll open this door now, and there is Fury's world, and it's time to write Fury for a while. And I walk into that room and I write that world, and then I come out and I close the door and, okay, now it's time to visit Maddie, and let's go see what Maddie's doing. And, currently I opened the door to the Wild Hunts world, and Kaylee says hi, and I'm writing in that one. I get so focused on what I'm working on that it's almost like my characters stand back and they wait their turn. Now and then a few don't, and they'll hammer and hammer, and it's like, you've got to wait, I have plans, and I need to not mix up things too much, so just stand back, wait your turn, get in line. Um, so yeah, so I'm good at putting things in their proper category. How do I balance long-term thinking versus being nimble in today's market? You know what? Never write to the market. Not unless you love what's selling at that moment. I write what I love. I write urban fantasy and I write paranormal romance for the most part, with a little bit of horror and dystopian thrown in. Those are the things I'm good at writing. Those are the things I love to write. Can I write other things? Yes. Could I possibly write, say, a thriller without paranormal aspects? Yeah, I probably could. Would I enjoy it? Maybe for a little while, but you know what? My heart wouldn't be in it as much as it is writing what I'm writing now. And if your heart is not in the book that you're writing, people will notice. If you don't enjoy what you're writing, people will notice. The India Ink books, the ones I wrote under a pseudonym that I now have out under my own name again, the 3 Bath and Body Mysteries. I think I did a good job on them. People liked them. But to be honest, I didn't enjoy writing them that much. There weren't the aspects in them that I really loved. And I wrote them because I signed a contract saying I would. Excuse me. And I think I did a good job. And I'm glad if people liked them, but my heart wasn't in them. And my friends who know me could tell. midway through the first book, I was like, I have 2.5 books to go. Okay, muster up some enthusiasm here. Mainly because they weren't paranormal, and I love paranormal. That is what I love to write. Um, so, write what you love, do the best you can at it, and however limited it is, you will find your audience for it. Um, if I wanted to write something that would appeal to everybody, it would be a blank piece of paper, because not everybody's going to like your work. No matter what you write, there's going to be somebody out there who hates it, and they will let you know. And you know what? It happens. You write for yourself, you write for the people who love your work, and the people who don't, well, there are a lot of other writers in this world that they can read. And you just have to accept that you're never going to be universally liked, you're never going to be universally loved. And Kaylee, would you please get off the mouse, because you're going to stop my recording here. Yeah, I know. And you know what? I mean, life with cats, it's never boring. When people write to you and tell you that your books helped them make it through cancer, or through a hurricane, or just through a rough day, that makes it worthwhile. Granted, I couldn't write what I write if I didn't make a living. I wouldn't have the time. I'd be out being some CEO or something somewhere. But really, when it comes down to it, we're storytellers. Writers are storytellers, and you can tell a story to nobody, but storytelling is interactive. Storyteller needs her audience. A storyteller needs the people that she's telling the story to. When you curl up around that campfire and you're sitting there and listening to the crackle of the flames, and somebody goes, let me tell you a story. You know, you want people leaning in to listen when you say those words. You want people to go, what happened next? And that interaction there, that's what makes the words magic. I was a theater major when I was in college. I did not study writing. I knew I wanted to be a writer anyway. So I studied theater, and I was studying directing and stage management, and I did some acting. It was actually not bad, but part of the magic of theater is when you go on stage, opening night, and that audience is there, and you get that crackle of interaction. Now, granted, writing doesn't do it the same way. You don't have that immediate gratification, because your reader's usually not sitting right in front of you, and heaven help me, it's kind of nerve-wracking if they would be. But that magic that's made between the creator, the creatrix, and the person receiving that creation, director and actors and playwright and theater audience, author and readers, musician and listeners. That interaction is what makes the art come alive. You know, it makes it. It doesn't finish it per se, but it gives it longevity, and it gives it fresh breath. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so I guess what I was saying is, write what you love, because your readers are going to know. They're going to know whether you enjoy that book or not, whether you had fun writing that book. At least the ones who get into it. The ones who don't like your work, well, you know, they will like somebody else's work. And there's plenty of readers to go around. Readers don't read just one book. They don't read just one author. And that's one thing I wish more authors would remember, is that there's a large audience of readers out there who devour books. Hell, we're readers. I mean, when I was in ninth grade, during the summer break, I read 100 books. I remember that. I read 2 books a day. You know, I don't have enough time to read like that anymore. But the magic of the words, that's what it's about. It's language, communication, storytelling. What if this happened? What if that happened? Okay, so I guess enough about that. I'm rambling, but hey, it's an evening, and if you get bored, you can always turn this off. I won't be offended. So, another question. Excuse me, I got about writing the food scenes. Is it difficult? Is it an outlet for my cravings? Especially with my food allergies, my histamine intolerance, and the fact that I need to be low carb as I can, because I'm trying to keep my type 2 diabetes in remission. And honestly, it recently got a little out of remission. Not horribly, but enough to go, okay, gotta rein it back. The problem was histamine intolerance, which I have a couple blogs on the issue. Histamine intolerance is when your body can't handle the same amount of histamine most people can handle, and you go into a reaction that's very similar to an allergy reaction, which can result in anaphylaxis. Hence, I remind people, if you have if you have an anaphylactic problem or any medical problem, wear your medical alert bracelet. That may be the only way someone knows what's going on. Anyway, so yeah, sometimes I get a little heavy-handed on the food, it seems, and I know that's not what Andrea said, the person who asked me the question, but I love to cook. I used to love to bake, and I can't do a whole lot of, well, I can't bake much anymore, and my dietary choices are extraordinarily limited. So yeah, sometimes I go a little overboard, and it's like, my characters could eat this. Plus, and this is a very near and dear thing to my heart, my female characters eat food. They don't nibble on just salads. They don't whine and moan about weight. They eat food. They eat enough to fuel the abilities that they have. You can't be out there kicking ass against a bunch of demons if you are living on, a salad for lunch and a chicken breast for dinner. You just can't. Sorry. So they get to eat. I may not get to eat as much as I like, or as much variety as I like. They get to eat. And as I said, I love to cook. I've been cooking since I was 5. I started trying to teach myself how to cook. My mother was so upset. She was afraid I was going to try and burn the house down. And so she started teaching me when I was that little, because she wanted me to be able to not make mistakes that would burn the house down. And by the time I was 12, I was cooking better than she was. And I cooked a lot of the meals when she didn't want to. I love it. It's a creative outlet. I just have a knack for knowing what tastes good together. Unfortunately, as I said, now I am severely limited in the types of foods I can eat, and it puts a crimp in my cooking. However, I'm still able to manage some pretty tasty dishes. and the fact that we have to have a totally gluten-free house and a totally nut-free house, and I have to be totally dairy-free, and we have a house that is garlic-free and onion-free and black pepper-free, because all of these things trigger reactions in me, even if I'm just around some of them. Means that I have to get pretty creative. I have discovered something. I cannot have lemon. I miss lemon. I love lemon. But cranberries, frozen, unsweetened cranberries, give a brightness to food that lemon also does. And so a lot of times I'll throw a handful of cranberries in my stir fries. It adds that tartness that you don't get with much else, because I can't have any citrus. So yes, sometimes writing the food scenes are an outlet for my cravings. Sometimes it's just because I want my characters to eat. Eating is part of life. Eating should be enjoyable if you can. You know, it's like there are so many places in the world that are in a famine. So many people with so little to eat. I think it's a shame that we make people feel guilty for actually eating just because they're female. You know, women have a right to food. And I think that's another reason why I moderate the comments on these videos. You know, anybody who's above a size 0, size 2, and female gets a whole lot of harassment. A lot of times by trolls who can do it anonymously. So yeah. Let's see. Night Magic is coming up. It will be out on the 22nd, I believe, of January, and it's available for pre-order. It takes place between Moon Shimmers and the upcoming Harvest Song, which will be out sometime in May. You can pre-order The Silver Stag, the first book in the Wild Hunt series. And Witch's Wild just came out, book 4 of Maddie, and there will be more Maddie later in 2018. At least 2 more books of hers 2018, and probably 2 more in 2019. And then we'll play it by ear. We'll see how many people still want more Maddie books. Supply and demand, you know. And The Wild Hunt, I'm looking forward to seeing what you think of that, and it's exciting, and I'm having a great deal of fun seeing the world that's coming out. So I guess that's it for now. See that mister in the back of me? That's my cat control. That takes care of kitties who are doing things they shouldn't do. Just a little squirt of water and boom, hopefully. So I hope you had a wonderful holiday season, and I will talk to you next time. And I'm going to try to do a couple of vlogs a month. I can get more done in, I don't know, it's been almost 25 minutes. I guess I should wrap this up. Anyway, so if you have questions, drop them on the blog or drop them in the Moonstalkers group on Facebook, and I will get to them as I can. And some I will answer in vlogs, and some I'll just post on my blog. And I bid you farewell for the night, and I wish you a happy 2018. And hey, my birthday's coming up next month, January 17th. I will be 57, and you know, I own every one of those years. I earned them. And so Kaylee and I bid you good night.